All right, good evening once again. In our last class, we started solving the question on never. And of course, we completed the requirement A of the question, right? Are we together?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. So we completed the part A of the question, but we were not able to look at part B. So let's quickly go and look at the part B of the question. Sorry, let me quickly save this. Let me see so I can close it. Okay, so let's look at the part B of the question. In part A, we computed the economic value added, but in part B, we're told that irrespective of our answer in A, we should assume the company's ever is what? The company's current ever is 120. So what does that mean? This simply means that requirement B is not depending on the requirement A. Sorry, that's Mrs. Angela calling. Hello, madam. Good evening, ma'am. On WhatsApp, I sent it to your WhatsApp. Your number WhatsApp or the other one? I think it's still active, right? It's okay, right? No, I can't say, it's long now. Okay, let me just copy the ID and password and send to you. Sorry, that's Miss Angela. I just have to respond to her. Let me send the ID to her. All right, let's continue. I'll send it to her. Hopefully she will join. Okay, so what this statement means is that requirement B is not depending on requirement A. So there are two independent requirements. So we are assuming the current ever of the company is 120 million, and that this will decline. This will decline annually by 2% for the next what? For the next 10 years. And then increase by 4% per annum in perpetuity. Assume the following for this part only. Cost of equity, 14%, WACC, 10%. Calculate the market value added by the company. Show all workings. Show all workings. Now, what are we going to do here? Normally, I prefer doing a kind of like 1, 2, 3, and 4 to infinity, for instance. But in this question, I won't be able to do that. Why? If you look at the number of years given, is much. You can say for the next 10 years, that ever will be declining by 2%. So I won't be able to open year 1 to 10. Okay, I won't be able to open year 1 to 10. So the only thing I can do here is that I will use my annuity with growth formula. Don't mind the decline. I'm going to address it. I'm going to use annuity with growth formula. You should not bother to cram the formula. Like I always tell you, it's going to be given to you. The only thing you need to know is how to apply the formula. Now, when you are discounting economic value added, remember, in our last class, I told you that when you discount ever, you get market value added. And for you to discount ever, you are using weighted average cost of capital, not cost of equity. Please take note. So we are not using cost of equity. Rather, we are using what? We are using WACC. Whenever you are discounting economic value added, the appropriate discount rate to use is not cost of equity. So to approach this question, requirement B, computation market value added. Computation of market value added. Now, after 10 years, which is from year 11 to, I will discount. When you discount, what are you looking for? Present value. So it means I have to compute present value from year 1 to 10, and present value from year 11 to infinity. That's what you need to do. For the year 1 to 10, the rate is what? The growth rate is what? At 2% growth rate. Why for this growth rate? You must be able to identify your growth rate for the different period that you have. Now, let's start. The first one is PV year 1 to 10. How will I compute that? My PV of year 1 to 10 is going to be ever, okay? Ever in year 0 into bracket 1 plus G. I'm just quoting the annuity formula here. Annuity with growth. 1 plus G. Everything here over cost of capital, which is my WACC here, minus growth rate, then open bracket 1 minus, okay, let me use this bracket here. 1 minus 1 plus G raised to power n. This is my annuity formula. This is my annuity formula. So from here, what's my ever? What's my current ever? My current ever is 120 million. Then, where's my growth rate? My growth rate is 2%, but it's what? Declining. It's declining. Then, what is my cost of capital? My cost of capital is 10%, if I'm not mistaken. Then, I think, what's our number of year? Yeah, our N is 10 years. Our N is 10 years. Therefore, I can have my present value to be equal to 120, which is my current ever. Are we together, please? Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Chu, are you there?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So, open bracket, 1 plus, okay, let me use the other bracket as well, so that I can get it clearly. 1 plus minus 0.02. Why am I having minus? Because the question told me it's declining, so it's minus. Okay, when declining, if it is growing, maybe it is expected to grow by 2% in the next 10 years, I would have done plus 0.02. But since the question tells me that it's going to decline, then I'm going to use minus 0.02. So over R, what's my R? R is 10% minus 0.02. That's the declining, the same principle apply. You can see that anywhere I'm having good, I'm putting minus there. Because this question is a special question which deals with what declining rate rather than growth. So I will have 1 minus 1 plus 1 plus 0.02 minus 0.02 minus 0.02 close the bracket again over 1 plus 0.1, which is our what do you call it? Which is our cost of capital. So everything here raised to power 10. Everything raised to power 10. So I close this. This is simple. Forget about the long distance because I'm having it in a word format. Okay. Maybe I should even try to simplify for you because I'm not sure whether you understand what I'm doing here. I'm not sure. Let me try to simplify
It's
this.
fine, sir.
You said?
I said it's
What is it?
fine.
It's fine,
okay.
Abby?
But you can simplify it more. It's better, but not bad.
Because I always discover that whenever I'm using annuity factor or annuity formula on what I call it, on a word format like this, students are always confused, thinking that it's different from what we have in our book. So let me just simplify it once and for all. So it's becoming clearer now. So this one here It's just like I can call this one, put it up there. These are just like times this. Just like times what? Times this. That's all. That's all. So that's the formula. That's the normal formula there. The one you have in your notes. That's it there. So this will be equal to 120 into bracket 1 minus 0.02. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
That's minus times plus will be minus. Okay. So I'm not going to apply this one again. I've given you the formula. So I just continue with my normal this thing. And this is going to be 0.1 plus, instead of minus now, it's now a plus 0.02. So times everything here, open bracket, 1 minus, this two will be 1 minus 0.02 over 1.1, everything here raised to power 10, raised to power 10. So my present value will be equal to 120 into brackets, 120 into bracket 0.98 close bracket over 2 times open bracket here 1 minus 0.98 over 1.1 raised to power of 10. So let's get our present value. Present value is 120 times 0.98. If I ask you to give a figure now, it's just be wasting time. Is 0.98. So this is what? Hello? Okay. What's with my calculator? What do you have? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Talk now.
My network was breaking, so
What do we have?
I've changed it. 980. 980.
980. Are you sure? By 1.1. 980 by 1.02.
I did 0.98 divided by 1.02 times 120. Okay, 115. 5.3.
115.3. And half times open bracket 1 minus 0.98 over 1.1 raised to power 10 give you what?
0.315.
0.315. So present value will now be equal to 115 times 1 minus
0.685.
Eh?
0.685.
Three.
0.685.
And that's it.
My network.
So, what do we now have?
0.6.
What do we have as the final figure?
78.775. Seven 8.775. My network is bad. 775.
28 point what?
0.78.
Now, that is present value of 10 to 10. Do for present value.
Excuse, sir.
980.
Excuse, sir.
980. This 115 is 980.
It should be
I can
980.
hear you.
When you multiply 120,
That 115.3 should be 980. My network
it should
is
be 980. That 115.3.
my network is breaking. I don't know if it's from me or from them. But let's see my book. I wrote 980. I think it's from me. Because I've already calculated it before. Gas network is full. Yes, we looked up.
Okay, so sorry. My network logged me out. I have to switch to another network. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
I can't see it. Okay.
Is there okay?
The 115, sir. 115.3 is 980.
It's supposed to be 980.
90 point.
Just
When you do that, The present value 120 times 0.98 over this. We got 980.
I didn't get what you are saying. Which one is giving you 980?
That one, that plate, yes.
This times this now.
Yes, that
Yes.
plate, you are correct. 980.
Yeah.
Then the total
Nine-
answer is 671.3.
This times this divided by 1.02 gave you 980.
Yes, sir.
So
So 980 times 0.68 will give us 671.3.
okay. 671.
0.3.
So that's the present value of year 1 to 10, right?
Yes, sir.
You do understand that? Did we understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's go to the next one. The next one is now present value of year 11 to infinity. How will I do this? I will use perpetuity with growth. So this is going to be ever. You now want to get present value from year 11 to infinity. So the starting point is for me to get my year 11 ever first. I need to get my year 11 ever. So my year 11 ever is going to be year 10 ever times the growth rate from year 11 onward, 1 plus G.
So we can't hear you. Is it my network? I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay. So I said the starting point for this is for you to get your year 11 ever, because I want to discount from year 11 to perpetuity. So I will need to know my ever in year 11. And for me to know my ever in year 11, I will need to first compute my ever in year 10. When I get my ever in year 10, I will now multiply it by growth rate of year 11 upward. Then I will discount it using R minus G. I multiply by discount factor of base year. Now, how do I get ever in year 10? Ever in year 10 is going to be ever in year 0. Let me do this one by one. Ever in year 10 is going to be equal to ever in year 0. Okay, ever in year 0 into bracket 1 minus 0.02 all raised to power n. So this is going to be, okay, let me just put the figure there straight. Ever in current year is 120. So, and our number of year is 10. Let's do it directly. So this will give me 120 into bracket 0.98 raised to power 10. What is this giving us? So do 0.98 raised to power 10 times 120. What do we have?
98.
90.
8.
That's not possible.
Okay. Let's do it again. Repeat.
98.05.
Eh?
98.05.
98.0. That's what I
0.
said.
0.98 raised to power 10
Yes.
times 120.
98.04. 04. What is this?
98.0.
0487363.
Just be giving figure to 2 decimal places. We'll be writing all those things.
05. 05.
So this might ever in year 10. But what do I want to get? I want to get ever in year 11, Abby. My ever in year 11 will now be equal to ever in year 10, which is 98.05 times, or let me say, into bracket 1 plus, because after year 10, cash flow will now be growing by what? By 4%, not declining again. So this one will give me what? I will have 98.05 into bracket 1.04. What did that give me? What's it giving?
101.97.
101.97. That is ever in year 11. So I will now say present value will now be ever in year 11, which is 101.97 over cost of capital 0.1 minus growth rate 0.04. We have already grew this one. Look at it. This one here. We already applied this growth rate to grow it from year 10 to year 11, right? So we are not growing it again because it has already been grown. Okay. So whatever I have here, I will multiply by discount factor of base year. Discount factor of base year is 1.1 raised to power minus 10. So my PV will be equal to 101.97 over 0.06 times, what is the discount factor of year 10? Zero 0.386.
0.386, yes, sir.
Where present value will be equal to, divide and multiply. This over this times this will give us what?
$656.
656.
Yeah, 0.00.
Okay. 656. So my market value added will now be present value from year 1 to 10, which is 671.3 plus present value of year 11 to infinity, which is 656. Add these two together, what do we have?
One 1327.3.
1327.3 million. That is the economic value added. Look at it very well. Let's see where you don't understand. Go and practice how to apply growing annuity. It's very important to the application, not the formula itself. Go and practice the application of growing annuity formula.
Can you recommend questions where we can work?
I cannot recommend them, except I search through my notes. But right now, offhand, I cannot. Okay. I just try and look for some questions for you, but not now. That's what I mean. You don't understand?
Yes, sir. Exam is in 4 weeks. I will care about.
So what happened?
There's no time.
So because exam is in 4 weeks time now, I should give you question where I'm sitting right here.
If you can, sir.
When my head is not computer. No, I will send a question to you on growing annuity. Are you fine? If you are fine, we go straight to merger and acquisition. Okay, I'm not talking well together. I'm hungry.
Eat, sir.
I should go and eat.
Yes, sir. You can give me like 30.
If I want to go and eat now, I have to go to eatery, and you know where I am now. Do you know legally?
Legally, I already.
That's
close to my office.
That's where my office is.
Wow.
Basically, this is neither an job.
Oh, and you're going to where are you living?
I'm still going to Akute.
Akute. Okay.
So if I want to go and eat, it means the class is over. So let's continue. Now let's go to merger and acquisition. After merger and acquisition, what else? All those small topics that will form part of question requirement what? Sorry, section B and C. By now, we're almost done with section A of the exam. I'm going to solve 4 questions with you on merger and acquisition. 4 questions. 4 questions. After those 4 questions, I will leave you to go and attempt the remaining ones. If you can, which I believe you should be able to, while we go into other areas. Bond valuation, blah, 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 and edging. However, that edging, though we're going to treat it, but I will advise you, when we start treating edging and it's giving you problem, don't waste your time on it. There are other questions that will give you the same mark that edging will give you, and that will not be as difficult as edging, because edging requires a lot of time for you to understand it. I'm not saying you cannot. I'm just saying in case you are finding it difficult to get, don't say, oh, you want to understand it by force and you now waste your time on it. No. Now, merger and acquisition. What is merger? What is acquisition? Merger is where 2 companies come together to operate as one company. Where 2 companies come together to operate as one. We say there is merger, whereby acquisition is where one company acquires another company. That is acquisition. However, in financial management, merger and acquisition are used interchangeably. Okay. Now, when two companies are coming together, they are coming together for a reason. What is that reason? The reason is basically because they want to enjoy what we call synergy. Okay, they want to enjoy what we call synergy. I'm going to close this and open a new tab now, because we are done with business evaluation. We are going to merger and acquisition. Merger and acquisition. Okay, so if I have company A combining with company B to form a new company C, what is the reason why they are combining? They are combining to form synergy. To form what? They are combining to form synergy. And what do you mean by synergy? Synergy simply means a situation where I can say that my 2 plus 2 is equal to 5. Okay? If I can prove it to you that 2 plus 2 is equal to 5, then I'm saying that there will be a synergy where when I add 2 and 2 together, and the synergy is going to be 1. So the amount by which the value of the combined company when operating individually will exceed the value of the newly created company is the synergy. Let us assume that company A has a market value it has a market value of, let me say, 10 million. And company B has a market value of 15 million. But we were able to determine that if we add A and B together, we are going to save some cost. Maybe we are going to save 22 million. Now, it means that I can conveniently say that A plus B is equal to 10 plus 15 plus 2. And that is what? 27. Can you see the logic now? Normally, A plus B should give me 25. But because of the benefit that will come as a result of this merger or acquisition, the market value after acquisition will now be what? 27. That is the framework of merger and acquisition. Okay. Now, where will two companies merge? Two companies can come together, one, for them to operate to get synergy, like I explained. It may also be that one company is already listed on the stock market and the other company want to be listed automatically. The company will simply buy the company that is already listed on the stock market so that automatically the company gets listed. That's another reason why two companies can decide to what? To join. Two companies may also join together to reduce what we call competition. For instance, FCA and WISE are in the same industry, so they are competitors. If WISE want to reduce competition in the industry, WISE can simply buy FCA. Okay? WISE can simply say, okay, we want the number of participants in this industry to reduce so that competition will reduce. So they just buy FCA. The moment FCA is bought, competition has been reduced by 1. Do you understand that? These are the reasons why companies can merge. I'm not wasting much time on the theory. I just explain 1, 2, 3, we move on. Now, what are the main arguments for and against acquisition? Okay. Now, the argument simply means what are the advantages and disadvantages of acquisition. One is that, organic growth. Yeah, it's organic, not acquisition, organic growth. Now, when a company wants to grow, a company can grow by means of merger and acquisition or by what we call organic growth. These are the two ways by which a company can expand. It's either you are expanding by buying over other companies in the same industry or different industry, or you are using your internal resources to grow the firm. When you are using your internal resources to grow the firm, what do you say?
Okay, continue, sir. I was trying to say that was organic growth using internal.
Yes. When you are using your internal resources to expand your company, we say you are growing organically. But when you are using your money to buy another company so that you become a bigger company, you are growing by acquisition. Now, what are the benefits of organic growth? Anything we are discussing under benefit of organic growth is the demerit of merger and acquisition. Number one, organic growth allows planning of strategic growth. When you are growing by organic, you are able to document a growth plan. You are able to follow the established strategic plan of your organization to grow. But if it is merger and acquisition, you are just going by acquisition, okay? So you are not growing according to your plan. That's what it means. Then it is less risky. When you buy a company, every transaction is risky, okay? Every transaction is risky. So if I carry my money and buy another company, I'm facing a very high risk because I don't know the performance of the company, for instance, especially when my due diligence is not carried out the way it should be. Even though when you have due diligence, there may be some areas of the due diligence or of the business that due diligence does not cover. Can I give you an instance? Let's say you have a company and the company is having a pending litigation in the court, and another company now buys that company. What do you think is happening? The company is buying a liability, because the moment you buy that company, the liability of the company becomes yours. So you are buying a litigation. So If you did not properly carry out your legal due diligence, it may become a problem after the acquisition. So you can go through all those ones so that you can move. I've explained synergy. We have 3 types of synergy. Mrs. Chiwe is no longer here with us. What happened?
Maybe it's an network.
Yeah. Let me get in touch. Okay. Let me give you 1 minute. There is gone. Let's give her 1 minute to join, please. Okay, you are in. Now, I said we have 3 types of synergy. We have the revenue synergy. And when we talk about revenue synergy, that is where the acquisition will increase your profit. Sorry, will increase your revenue, I wanted to say. When the acquisition of the company that you want to acquire will result in increases in profit after the acquisition, we say there is a revenue synergy. Now, in what area will revenue increase? 1, market power / elimination of competition. Maybe the company you are buying over is in the same industry with you, and you start to buy that company, you have reduced competition, so your revenue may increase. Your revenue may increase. Economic of vertical integration. What is vertical integration? Vertical integration is where a company decides to either buy over a supply or buy over its customer. You're either buying your supplier or you are buying your customer. Your customer, they are the final consumer of your product. So when you are buying your customer, we call it forward integration. Okay, it's a forward integration. Forward vertical integration, let me put it that way. Forward vertical integration. But when you have a company that buys a supplier, then that is backward vertical integration. So when you combine with the company, it may be possible that some duplicative function may be reduced, and that equates to what? To higher revenue. Are we together, please?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we have complementary products or resources. What are complementary resources? Complementary resources can also be called joint resources. Resources that are used together. Resources that are used together are complementary. So when 2 companies come together with equipment that are complementary in nature, you see that after they are coming together, they will not be able to operate without limit, because what limits the operation before is resources, but now these resources are now being put together. So we talk about complementary resources. And these are the areas where you can have revenue synergy. What about cost synergy? Cost synergy simply means reduction in cost, okay? Reduction in cost as a result of the combination. For instance, it may be that when you buy over that company, you are going to, the company has a very high technical machinery that can perform the work of some staff. So it means the moment you buy that company, some staff will be laid off. And when you lay off some staff, it means that salary will no longer be paid. And where their salary is no longer being paid, then it means that is a savings to the organization. The organization is saving cost. The organization is saving cost. So we have economic of scope. We have so many of them there. Then we have financial synergy. Financial synergy is the ability to borrow money in a large amount. And it is proven that when two companies come together to operate as one, if they approach a bank, the bank will be willing to give the enlarged company the loan rather than for the company to come for the loan individually. You may not be able to get the loan individually because your company is small. But when you combine two companies, these companies will become bigger. And therefore, we can be able to negotiate loan at a more favorable condition or terms. Now, financial synergy considered a elimination of inefficiencies. Let's give her 1 minute to come back. I think our network has logged out. Let's give her just 1 minute. Let me try to call her.
It might be network. That time I wasn't hearing you, so I had to
log out. Oh, okay, you have to log out there now.
Yes.
I'll not enjoy today's class because I'm hungry.
Try, sir. Sorry, sir.
Thank you.
What do we do now?
I want to call her to join.
I said, what will you do now? How are you going to eat?
When I'm done, I'll go and eat before going. Hello? You do what? You are trying to connect, are you? Okay, we are waiting for you. She will soon connect with you.
Okay, no problems.
Mrs. Angela, I know. Are you sure Mrs. Angela will be able to write this exam soon?
The trauma will be too much for her.
I'm telling you. They just spoil the plan for her. Stupid people. I think this woman's network is very poor today.
Sir, this merger and acquisition,
Yeah.
if one will be able to understand it very well,
Mm.
SFL will not be a problem again.
Yes. That's why I said for you to be able to do merger and acquisition, you must know your business valuation very well. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Without business valuation, you cannot do merger and acquisition. Okay, welcome back, Mrs. Shiu. So let's continue. So sources of financial synergy are tax sheets on accumulated tax losses, surplus cash, corporate risk diversification of and financing. I don't want to wait because the theory is much, so I don't want us to waste time on them. You can just glance through. Even in the morning of the day of the exam, you can quickly glance through them before you go in case one or two questions come out of the theory part. So, reason for merger and acquisition, entry to new market, to acquire another company's staff, managerial motive, arrogance, diversification, a defense mechanism to prevent being taken over, a means of improving liquidity, improve ability to raise finance. These are some of the reasons why companies can come together. Reason for high failure rate of acquisition. Why do we have it that some companies, after the acquisition, after they come together, you discover that there is a problem, the company will fail. Why? These are some of the reasons. Number one is over-optimistic. Over-optimistic. Over-optimistic means that you are sure that you are overconfident that the acquisition of the company you want to buy is profitable. But at the end of the day, you buy that company, it's not profitable. You are being over-optimistic. Okay? Now, another problem is the fact that we have the situation whereby after a company has bought over another company, instead of the management of the buyer to settle down and try to integrate the two companies, rather what they do is that they will start looking for another company to buy. They've not settled the one they just bought to. Instead of them to settle down and try to integrate these two, immediately they start looking for another company to buy. So we have inadequate preliminary investigation, that is where you fail to do your due diligence the way it should be done. So we have so many of them there. Ensure you know like 5. If you know like 5, you are good to go. Regulation, I'm not looking at regulation. Hostile takeover bid. What is hostile takeover bid? Hostile takeover bid is whereby it's a decision whereby the acquirer, that is the predator, a company that want to buy, approaches the target company. Okay? But the target company is not happy about the bid. That is hostile takeover. It's like when a boy asks a girl out and the girl is not happy about it. You know the kind of attitude the girl will put towards that guy. So that is exactly the same thing with hostile takeover. You want to buy my company, I'm not happy about it. So what are the strategies? What are the strategies I can use to push you away? Okay? What are the strategies I can use to push you away? So these are the strategies that you can use to push away potential buyer that you are not happy about. You don't want to sell to their company. What are those strategies? These are the strategies here. One, we have what we call the Pac-Man defense. The Pac-Man defense is a way where the bidding company is itself the subject of the takeover bid. What are we saying here? Company A approaches company B for a possible takeover, but suddenly company B makes a U-turn and approaches company A instead. That is Pac-Man defense. It can also be referred to as reverse takeover. We can also call it reverse takeover. You want to buy me, but unfortunately for you, I become your buyer. So your buyer immediately. I approach you that I want to buy you instead. That is what we call Pac-Man defense, which is also called what? Reverse takeover. So poison pill strategy. The poison pill strategy is a way of poisoning the company. Okay, we are trying to put poison in the company. How will you put poison in the company? You can bring a law that comes. If this company is to be sold, each shareholders of this company will have to collect 10 million naira. So you can imagine if you have like 100 shareholders, what happens? It means you have to pay 10 million times 100. So no company will want to buy that kind of company. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have crown jewels. Crown jewels simply means a situation where one of the most valuable assets of the company is sold in order to make the acquisition not to be attractive. It's like the example I gave earlier. You have a lady that is always dressed very fine, very fantastic, and the guy now develop love for that guy and for that girl just because of the way she dresses. But that girl does not want to accept the boy. What can the girl do? The girl can say, okay, it means because of the way I dress. You can see that in the next day, the girl just dress in a row and buba. Okay? Just to make sure that the guy loses interest. So the guy has been disturbing her. So you identify that this is what the guy sees in the girl that is making him to disturb the girl always. So what the girl, since the girl already knows that, you just make sure that henceforth, whenever she want to dress, you just go and put Iro and Buba instead of a normal dress. So doing that, the guy may likely be discouraged. Okay, the guy may likely be discouraged. That is what we call selling the crown jewel. So if my company has a valuable asset, I know that, oh, this asset is very valuable. Now, we can use that asset as what? As a kind of defense tactic by selling off the asset. So the moment we sell the asset, the market value for the company will fall because we have sold a very valuable asset of the company. It's like the proposed sales of NNPC. If it should happen, okay? If it should happen, then it means we are selling the what? Or maybe part of the let me say part of the asset of NNPC is being sold. You see that will discourage the company that want to buy over NNPC from diesel because the market value of the company will have dropped. The asset we are seeing that is making us to want to buy them is no longer there. They sold it out. So the buyer will be discouraged. We have a golden parachute. Golden parachute is a tactic used to the advantage of the managers or the directors. And how does it work? The manager can say, okay, come. If you sell this company, we are entitled, because it means you'll be laid off, we're entitled to 5 million naira each. So it means any company that is buying that company, in addition to that, in addition to the money the company has, okay, the company has to pay a liability payment to the managers. And that is of 5 million from the example I gave. That is what we call golden parachute. Then we have the fat man. Okay. When we say fat man is similar to poison pill, but the only difference is that the company is using debt to chase away the purchaser. Debt to chase away the purchaser. When you discover that someone wants to buy your company, you can decide to go and take on more debt so that your debt will increase, so that anybody buying your company is buying a huge debt. That's what we call fat man defense. It's different from Pac-Man, please. Know the difference. Pac-Man, fat man, they are two different things. Reverse takeover, I've explained that earlier. The advantages, I've explained it earlier. Okay. Let me see. I think you see down. Okay. I'm coming. 1 minute, please. Okay, this is just the advantage of reverse takeover. I can quickly go through. Drawback, reputation damage, risk, regulatory, share price decrease, cost, regulatory cost, acquisition cost. I'm not going through all those ones because they're self-explanatory. I urge you to just look for, even with his 30 minutes, you are fine. Okay, just to have idea of all these things, not for you to know them in detail. No. Just to have the idea so that you can be able to get 2-3 marks should a question come out from those area. So due diligence. What do you mean by due diligence? Due diligence is a way of investigating a target company before the eventual buy of the company. You have a company you want to buy. Before you pay for the company, you must carry out what we call due diligence. So the method of evaluating the worthwhileness of the purchase of another company is what we call due diligence. Due diligence are divided into 3. We have legal, financial, I think operational, yeah. I think I just have to have it. How did I put here? Let me see. Legal, okay, legal and financial. I put legal and financial here. These are the main ones. You can also have operation due diligence. So if you want to carry out due diligence, we want to carry out financial due diligence. What are you looking at? We want to see the financial statement of the company. We want to analyze it to see whether this company is doing well or the company is not doing too well, so that we're able to make a decision as to whether you have to buy that company or not. So you can also look at the management account. They serve the same purpose, only that one is more authentic than the other. The one based on your audited account is more authentic than the one based on management account. Then we have legal due diligence. Legal due diligence basically means trying to establish whether the company has a court case or regulatory issues, legal issues. That is what legal due diligence is. So this will include items like hidden warranties, security service decrease, security given on sales, on assets rather, security given on assets, whether the company you want to buy, some of the company asset has already been pledged as security for loan. You won't know until you bring in an expert to carry out what we call legal due diligence. Then, whether there's legal disputes, you have to come and then break clause in supply contract. What do we mean by this? Maybe we have someone that we have already seen the agreement that you will be supplying the company. Maybe the company is a manufacturing company and you source for raw material. So you have agreed that you'll be selling raw material to that company. So the company has already relied on you. What happens if you break the agreement? That's what we say break claim clauses in supply contract. So I have to look at it, evaluate that situation very well before I decide to buy your company. Now we have what we call management buyout. Management buyout is a situation where a company is being sold to an internal management, where you sell your company to the staff, management staff of that company. We talk of management buyout. Okay, we are selling your company, but we are selling it to the management of that same company. That is a management buyout. And we have management buy-in. I want us to complete the theory part of this thing today so that in the next class we can solve questions. Now, we have management buy-in, which is the opposite of management buy-out. Management buy-in is a situation where a company is being sold to outside management. You are selling your company, but you are not selling it to the management of the company. You are selling it to external management. That is management management buy-in. That is management buy-in. We are selling to outside. Please note the difference. Do not be confused. If guys know that you can say management buy-in is for internal, but no. Buy-in is for external, buy-out is for internal. Please take note. Now, classification of merger and acquisition. Okay, BIMBO. BIMBO is combination of management buy-out and management buy-in. That is, we are selling the company to a combination of outside management and internal management. We talk of BIMBO, which is buy-in management, buy-out. So let's see how we value merger and acquisition. How do we value merger and acquisition? For you to value merger and acquisition, you must be able to distinguish between three types of acquisition. So we have acquisition type 1, acquisition type 2, acquisition type 3. When we say an acquisition is acquisition type 1, it is an acquisition where business risk and financial risk will not change following the acquisition, meaning that the company that we are buying is in the same industry with us and we are not borrowing to finance the acquisition. In that case, business risk and financial risk is not changing. So in any question where you see that business and financial risk are not changing, then that type of acquisition is acquisition type 1. And how do we value such acquisition? Such acquisition is valued using net book value plus model, market relative model. We have done that too. We have done market relative model. Any special, sorry, price earnings ratio, earnings yield, all those ones. They are market relative models. So then we can also use what? The free cash flow approach. We have learned free cash flow. So that free cash flow is useful here when you are doing business, when you are doing merger and acquisition. Then we have acquisition type 2. Acquisition type 2 is a type of acquisition where business risk will not change, but financial risk will change. Okay? Business risk will not change, but financial risk will change. Business risk will not change if the two of you, both the buyer and the seller, are in the same industry. But financial risk will change in the sense that you are taking up the debt of the target company, and probably you are also borrowing in order to finance the acquisition. If that is the case, your financial risk is changing. And in a question where business risk is not changing and financial risk is not changing, we call that type of acquisition type 2. And that acquisition is going to be valued based on adjusted present value. Don't worry about all this story. Don't worry. When we solve question, that's what I'm saying. All this one, you cannot get the complication of all this one like adjusted present value. So the one you are going to get mostly is type 1 and type 3 acquisition. And what is type 3 acquisition? Type 3 acquisition is acquisition where both business risk and financial risk is what? Is changing. The two risks are changing, meaning that you are the company you want to buy is not in the same industry with you, and you are going to borrow to finance the acquisition. And probably the person you are carrying is what? Or the person you are buying is having debt. So you are taking over the debt of the company. In that case, financial risk will change. So business risk and financial risk are changing. The moment you discover that businesses and financial risk are changing, then that is acquisition type 3. For you to value acquisition type 3, we are going to use work of combined activities. I'm not going to bother you with that now. When we want to use it, I will explain it better. If I will explain it now, it's just a waste of my precious time. Then when we apply it to a question, then I will now solve it practically for you to see how we carry out type 3 acquisition. So this is a theoretical part of merger and acquisition. So in our next class, we are going to take question. Well, let me see the question I'm going to take with you. Obviously, I'm going to solve question 1. I'm going to solve question 1. I want to plan ahead in you so that I know if I come to a class, I know what I'm coming to do. I'm going to solve question 2. Then after that, I'm going to solve question of pursuit code. Oh, I think we're going to solve more than 4 because this have code 2. I cannot afford to leave it. So pursuit code we are going to solve. And of course, the ICANN mock exam. The ICANN mock exam. We may not solve this one.
So which one is ICANN mock exam?
That's what I want to show you here.
Hey, I said, which one is, do they give mock exam?
They gave mock exam in 2019, November. Do you understand? They
Ah,
gave me of 2019 November. So this is the mock exam here, question 11. This one here. So we must solve this question as well. In case I can decide to pick the question. Do you understand? That is why I want to solve it. That is why I want to solve it. So we're going to solve 4 or 5 questions depending on how fast we're able to move, so that we bury merger and acquisition and we now go to other parts of our syllabus. So let's stop here for tonight. So today is more of theory than calculation, Abi. So sorry about that. Me too, I don't like theory. I prefer calculation to theory. As a matter of fact, there's an MBA exam I'm going to start writing from October 23. All my courses are theory. I'm finding it difficult to read them. So I don't like theory, like calculation. So sorry if you're offended that I bombarded you with theory for today. Are you offended? Yes, Abby.
we are not.
Okay.
I'm not.
All right, thank you. We're going to meet, I don't know. Okay, even though we are not going to meet now. Okay, I will communicate to you. Don't let me give a promise I won't be able to fulfill. You know, promise is a debt, Abby. So if we are going to meet before Monday, I will communicate to you. Otherwise, it will be on Monday. Are we fine?
Okay, sir.
So thank you. Have a lovely night rest.
You too.
Please get in touch with Mrs. Angela. Let's know. You need to encourage her or Mrs. Chue.
Yes, sir.
So that she'll be able to write this exam. If she doesn't write this exam, it will be fine, because she has already put in effort. You understand?
Yes, sir.
If she does not write it now, it will be as if she's starting all over again. By the time she wants to write it next night, she's starting all over again. That's it. So try to encourage her.
Okay, sir.
All right, thank you. Mrs. Sheo. Good night.